I've been married to my wife for 10 years, and no matter what I did, I just couldn't melt her heart. Yet, I watched with my own eyes as she walked into a love hotel, arm in arm with her first love. After getting home that night, I didn't say much. I just placed a divorce agreement right in front of her. She picked it up, staring at it. Her hands were trembling as she put it back on the table. She looked at me furiously and demanded, "Tell me, why do you want a divorce?" I shot back angrily, "Well, why don't you tell me? What kind of man could tolerate his wife being intimate with another guy? Lin Yu, you know. We grew up together. We're practically like brother and sister. Let's just get a divorce." Before Shen Jiayi could finish her sentence, I raised my hand and cut her off. "I have loved you for 10 years. Even if your heart was made of stone, it should have warmed up by now. But you just played me for a fool. Lin Yu, it's not what you think." I let out a heavy sigh, and asked, "Where is your heart? Or rather, have you ever even loved me?" Shen Jiayi fell completely silent. "Lin Yu, about me and Wang Yu, I swear to you, nothing happened. I am innocent. I was just helping him out with his business, that's all." I scoffed, "I'm just a nobody from the bottom. I'm completely average, and I know deep down, you've never actually respected me. Your father uses his money to control you and keep our marriage intact. And then you use that same money to help Wang Yu." I looked up, glaring furiously at Shen Jiayi. "And you use my love for you to control me. What a perfect, sick little cycle. I really am the perfect little tool, aren't I? Ha ha, you're disgusting." My face twisted with grief, and I started laughing like a madman. "Lin Yu, please calm down." I glared fiercely at Shen Jiayi. I gritted out every single word. "Stop lying to yourself, and stop lying to me. I know you've been waiting for him this whole time. The only reason you stayed was because of your father's pressure. You didn't dare ask for a divorce. When it comes to love, we are both losers here. Dragging this out won't do either of us any good. I'm the one asking for the divorce. Maybe that will make things easier for you when you face your father." A heavy silence fell between us once again. "Just sign it." Shen Jiayi stared blankly at the divorce papers, completely lost in thought. "Lin Yu, you can't do this to me. I gave you the best years of my life." Ha ha ha, and what about my best years? Were they just fed to the dogs? I leaned back and burst into a loud, bitter laugh. I suddenly stood up. "Shen Jiayi, how about you just let me go? Do it for the sake of the guy who shared your bed and cooked your meals for 10 years. Hey, I'm only taking the things I bought myself. You don't have to worry about that. I won't touch a single dime of your money. All I'm taking is my own salary, the clothes I bought, and my car. That's it." My words ruthlessly shattered Shen Jiayi's pride, ripping off the last remaining shred of our dignity. In all these years, I had never treated her like this. I had always been the quiet one, swallowing the things I knew perfectly well, but never daring to say out loud, just to keep the peace between us. But today, I was so direct, so utterly unyielding, that it sent Shen Jiayi into an absolute panic. And my words made the incredibly arrogant Shen Jiayi feel deeply humiliated and furious. In her world, no one had ever dared to speak to her like that. Her hands gripped the divorce papers tightly. With tense, white knuckles, she grabbed the pen and fiercely signed her name. She turned around, immediately left the dining table, and headed upstairs. I stood up and picked up the agreement, stuffed it into my backpack. Once I packed my things, I was ready to go. "Take care of yourself." Walking up the stairs, Shen Yi paused for just a second. Then she hurried off. After going into her room, she slammed the door shut. Bang! I finished clearing the table and washed the dishes, dried my hands, and took one last walk around the first floor. Locked the front door, and went up to the second floor. I looked around my old room, staring at the rows of gifts Shen Jiayi had given me. They were neatly arranged on the bookshelf, bringing back every little memory attached to them. Finally, I stood right outside Shen Jiayi's room. Then I left, making my way down to the basement garage. I opened the car door and got inside, started the engine, and just sat there waiting for a bit. Lit up a cigarette and took a drag, pulled out my phone and gave Fatty a call. "Come out and have a drink with me." The usual spot. Then, I drove out. Up on the second floor, the lights in my old room stayed off. Shen Jiayi stood by the window for a long, long time. From the moment I drove away until the car was completely out of sight. At Mama's private kitchen, I drank myself into a complete stupor that night. I was a total mess. But I wanted to get wasted. I put Fatty through absolute hell, making him drag my heavy body all the way to a hotel room. He left a bottle of water on the nightstand, tidied things up, closed the door, and took off. The next morning, the sun was shining bright. Sunlight filtered through the curtains, casting dappled shadows right over me. If I weren't a wage slave who's been drinking and grinding for years, there's no way I could have gotten out of bed. Washed up, grabbed some breakfast, and drove to the office. Right when I got there, I heard rumors about layoffs. Not long after, my boss called me in. I stuffed my cigarettes into my pocket and walked into his office. In the afternoon, Our called me in. They explained how my severance pay was calculated, and we confirmed my years of service and the final amount. I signed the papers, and they told me to just come in tomorrow to finish the offboarding. I was about to say goodbye to the place I'd worked at for 10 years. It marked the journey from my naive college days to finally understanding the real world. 10 years. It's the decade where everyone's youth comes to an end, where an ordinary person pays the ultimate price, just to learn the brutal rules of society. I arrived at the company, packed up my personal belongings, and grabbed my resignation forms. Got the signatures from HR, finance, and the department head. The paperwork was done, said my goodbyes to the team. I bowed to everyone, thanked them for all their support, and headed downstairs, ready to leave. I don't know how long she'd been there, but my subordinate, Wei Wei, was waiting for me in the parking lot, holding a black bag in her hands. I figured it was some cigarettes. I walked over to her and put my stuff in the car. Then I turned around, opened my arms, and gave Wei Wei a warm hug. Patting her back, Wei Wei had tears in her eyes and said, "Take care of yourself, boss." I told her to take good care of herself, both in life and at work. Then, I started the car, waved at her, and said goodbye. Aside from feeling grateful to the company, along with reminiscing about my youth, my heart feels a little heavy. But there's still something I have to take care of, or I won't be able to find any peace. I messaged Yang Nana on WeChat to get Wang Yu's number, and then I gave him a call. Hearing the noisy background on the other end, "Wang Yu? It's Lin Yu. Let's meet up." Wang Yu let out a sneer. "Peninsula Coffee on Huazhong Street." Without waiting for my reply, he hung up. I started driving toward Huazhong Street. Arriving at Peninsula Coffee, I saw Wang Yu already sitting at a booth by the window. I ordered a latte and took a seat right beside him. After a moment of silence, I kept my head down and finally spoke. "Shen Jia and I signed the divorce papers." Wang Yu just stirred his coffee with a spoon. "You should have left a long time ago. She never should have gotten married in the first place. You don't deserve her." "Well, if she didn't marry me, she wouldn't have the spare cash to support a leech like you," I shot back with a sneer. Wang Yu shot me a dirty look, then turned his head away in disgust. He kept stirring his coffee and scoffed at me. "You absolute fool for love. What a pathetic man. Women are just there to be played. You idiot, she's been waiting for you all this time." I know I don't deserve her. But you don't deserve her either. I might be a total idiot, but you're the absolute king of the garbage dump. A total menace to society. The lowest form of human life. Hearing this, Wang Yu started breathing heavily, pushed right to the edge of losing his temper. I kept going, ignoring his anger. "But, I still envy you. Funny, right? An upstanding, model citizen of society. Actually envying a piece of trash like you. How incredibly ironic is that?" "Hey." Wang Yu laughed at my words. "You're just a clueless loser. What do you know about a woman's heart?" Wang Yu smirked. "Since you two are divorced, I might as well give you a lesson. Women exist to be played. They always chase after the dominant ones. They love being led, getting caught up in the thrill. You have to learn how to control the pacing. Hurt them a little, then sweet talk them a little. Get it? That's the only way to wrap the woman you like around your finger. And when it comes to that, you're absolute trash." Wang Yu let out a snort, looking at me with pure disgust. He probably thought of himself as some grandmaster of playing women, totally loving the sound of his own advice. He thought for a second, then added, "Women on Shen Jiayi's level could never fall for a nice guy. They only want the bad boys. Because, hey, only the bad boys know how to awaken their deepest desires. If a woman doesn't have you in her heart, sharing a bed for 100 years won't change a damn thing." My face totally ashen, I just nodded and gestured for him to keep going. Wang Yu paused for a second and took a sip of his coffee. When a woman like her tries to conquer or fix a guy she sees as a bad boy, she's completely done for. She gets sucked right into the vortex of love. It's the oldest rule in the book. Wang Yu looked as if he'd just won some grand victory. He started running his mouth endlessly, starting all the way back from when he and Shen Jiayi were childhood sweethearts. Feeling completely hollow, I cut his little speech short and looked up at Wang Yu. Do you actually love her? Hearing this, a flash of inner conflict crossed Wang Yu's face. He'd loved way too many women in his life so far. The one he loved the most definitely wasn't Shen Jiayi. Otherwise, he would have turned over a new leaf and become a decent guy a long time ago. At least that would have given Shen Jiayi some hope much earlier, I added. At this point, there is no need to lie to me. I just want to know the truth. Wang Yu instantly thought it over with caution. Then he paused and said, I love her, but she isn't my true love. Money is what matters most to me. I need to get my family back on their feet. I said furiously, you despicable coward. Manipulating a woman's feelings just to get what you want. Wang Yu just let out another shameless scoff. Furious, I turned around and walked away. I got into my car and lit up a cigarette. I opened my phone and used WeChat to take the audio recording of our conversation and sent it to a certain chain hotel in Ice City. The morning sun shined down on me. My alarm went off. I booked a short trip to the suburbs of Ice City, wandering around with a tour group. Even though I've lived in Ice City for years, I had never really taken a good look at this beautiful city. After we got married, Shen Jiayi was always so busy. She never even had the free time to take a walk with me, to just look at the sights. Taking in the scenery, my mood slowly began to improve. Time flew by, and the day to finalize the divorce was getting closer. Finally, the day had arrived. It was time to say goodbye to the past. A completely new life was about to begin. I opened WeChat and pulled up her chat. See you at the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau tomorrow at 8 a.m. The next day, I got myself cleaned up and drove out. The traffic was stop and go. Half an hour later, I arrived at the Civil Affairs Bureau and waited for Shen Jiayi. At 7:58, Shen Jiayi stepped out of her Panamera and slowly walked toward the entrance. I hadn't seen her in a month. She still looked as elegant and indifferent as ever. Highly educated and fiercely independent. I stood there, waiting for her. When she reached the doors, we stood side by side. Neither of us said a single word. Shen Jiayi glanced at me, then quickly looked away as we walked inside together. Our number was called, and we went into the mediation room. We both waived our right to mediation. We handed in our documents and filled out the forms. The staff member asked, "Are you both getting this divorce voluntarily?" Yes, we answered in unison, and signed our names. We received our divorce certificates. Once that was done, we both walked out. When we reached Shen Jiayi's car, we both stopped in our tracks. Take care of yourself. I took one last, deep look at Shen Jiayi. I saw her red lips part slightly, but before she could say anything, I started walking toward my own car. Lin Yu, Shen Jiayi called out to stop me. The clicking of her high heels echoed from behind as she quickly chased after me. She wrapped her arms around me from behind. She was about to part ways with the man she had lived with for 10 years. Shen Jiayi couldn't hold back the swirl of complicated emotions inside her. I don't know if it was out of guilt toward me, or anger at herself, or maybe just the fear of having her settled life shattered. Whatever the fear was, in this very moment, she just wanted to give me a proper goodbye. Let me hug you. Is that okay? Shen Jiayi's voice whispered from behind me. Both her voice and her body pressed against my back were trembling. I turned around and looked at Shen Jiayi, her long eyelashes resting over her slightly closed, slender eyes. Opening my arms, I pulled her into my embrace. I held her tight for a moment, then gently patted her back. With both hands, I pushed her shoulders back to look at her delicate face, and softly said, "If there is a next life, let's just be strangers." Slowly pushing her away, I turned around without hesitation. I didn't stop walking, even when I heard her sobbing behind me. I thought I was strong enough to handle this moment. People always take these things for granted, but reality proves you wrong. Getting into the car, I couldn't help but sigh. A mistaken love is, in the end, completely pointless. In the end, you're left with nothing. I started the engine, and drove off, leaving it all in the dust. 10 years ago today, we registered our marriage right here. I can still picture that moment so clearly. 10 years later, today, we divorced right here. I wish I could just forget this whole decade. If the spring breeze takes pity on the fallen flowers, will it let me be young again? If there is a next life. The next day, at the entrance of Dragon King Village, the towering old poplar trees by the road waved their palm-sized leaves, full of life, swaying gracefully in the wind. radiating a lush, vibrant energy. An absolute contrast to how I was feeling inside. Row after row of trees hid the whole village from view. You could only make it out by the pointy roofs of the two-story houses poking through. Dragon King Village sits right by the sea to the west. It takes about 30 minutes to walk from the village down to the beach. As the saying goes, you live off the mountains, or you live off the sea. Driving down the road, you could see plenty of people riding their electric tricycles. Heading back to the village from the coast. "Auntie, what kind of catch did you get today?" I rolled down my window and called out to my neighbor, Auntie Wu. "Oh, little fish is back. I got some fresh sea urchin roe today, you want some?" "I can give you a jar," Auntie Wu said with a warm smile. "Thanks, Auntie, but we've already got some at home. You must be tired from a long day. Head on home and get some rest." "Thanks." I quickly wrapped up the chat, not daring to say another word to her. If I kept going, she'd soon be asking why Shen Jiayi didn't come back with me. Or if we were having a fight. Once you answer that, I guarantee you, the whole village will know before dinner time. No media network out there can beat the village gossip network. It's truly terrifying. Back in the day, Shen Jiayi and I had been engaged for less than an hour. And the entire village already knew. Take it from someone who's been there. Whenever you pass the village in trance, you have to move fast. If someone you know stops you, just make up an excuse about an emergency. And escape the village head as fast as you can. Village gossips are the real tycoons of the media industry. They're a completely non-profit organization that organizes themselves with unbelievable efficiency. Highly effective, especially those middle-aged aunties wearing headscarves. In some ways, they're even more hardcore than war correspondents. Especially when it comes to digging up your privacy. But right now, the thing I was dreading even more was waiting for me. I drove into my own yard. Over on the east side of the yard, there was a small vegetable patch. The yard was full of all kinds of seasonal vegetables, growing wonderfully. Hearing the noise, Zhang Fengying looked out from the living room. Seeing that I was back, she hurried out to greet me. But seeing I was alone, she immediately fired off a question. "Little fish, why did you come back by yourself?" I replied in a muffled voice. "She's busy, no time." Zhang Fengying helped me carry my things into the house. "It's not a holiday or anything, why did you buy so much stuff?" "Well, I haven't been back for a long time, have I?" Hearing this, the usually outgoing Zhang Fengying finally broke into a smile. "Mom, take a seat. Let's have a chat." Zhang Fengying, still beaming, sat down. Clearly and calmly, I explained the whole story of my divorce with Shen Jiayi. To my mother, Zhang Fengying froze. She didn't react for a long time. Then, she got up, went back into her room, and didn't come out. Worried that something might happen to her in there, I went in to check on her. The moment I stepped into her room, a broomstick came swinging right at my head. Then, Zhang Fengying's heart broke. She reached out, wrapped her arms around my head, and kept patting me. Just like she used to do to coax me to sleep when I was little. If I hadn't been so stubborn back then, my silly boy wouldn't have ended up like this. My handsome son, worn down into a tired, middle-aged man. Not even a child to show for it, and ending up with nothing. Tears streamed freely down her face as she whispered, "Oh, my son. Mom is so sorry I did this to you." A few days later, the divorce compensation money finally hit my account. Thrilled, I immediately transferred it to Her Majesty, my mother's bank account. I opened WeChat and transferred 8,888 to a contact named Cold Moment. "Here's a red envelope, sis. Your little brother made a small fortune recently. Cold Moment has accepted your transfer." "Thanks, little bro." Couldn't help but give a knowing smile. Everyone loves a little sweetness. On my 5th day home, I decided it was time to hit the road. Watching short videos, I had always envied other people chasing poetry in distant lands. Amid my mom's endless reminders, I drove to the airport. My first destination, Guilin. Guilin's scenery is the best in the world. Departing from Bincheng Airport, with one layover, the flight would take almost 6 hours. Since I had plenty of time, I drove slowly and steadily. When I passed by the house I used to share with my ex-wife, I pulled over and peered inside. There weren't many people on the road at noon. People often refuse to face their unbearable pasts. Given the choice, most would probably just run away. Run away from the people or places they don't want to see, because those people are that place. Hold unforgettable memories they'd rather not recall. Humans are just like most animals in that way. We all have the instinct to seek comfort and avoid pain, to protect ourselves. I didn't want to think about the people, things, or places connected to my ex-wife either. But I still wanted to take one last look at that house. From the neighborhood entrance, I could see the balcony of the bedroom I used to live in. That was where I used to pace back and forth late at night. Wait, something was wrong. Smoke was billowing from the tiled roof of the attic. Was it on fire? The kitchen is on the north side, not the south. I couldn't see clearly, so I threw open the car door and sprinted inside. A 5-minute drive takes quite a bit of time when you're running on foot. The higher up I went, the more people there were. Some were on their phones calling 911. Some of them were holding water buckets, but absolutely no one was actually going in to save anyone. In this upscale neighborhood, every single person values their own life way too much. I sprinted to the entrance, gasping for air, and called out to the older man nearby. "Mister, it's me, Lin. Is Shen Jiayi inside?" Thick black smoke was already billowing out the door. The old man just shook his head. I snatched the water bucket right out of the old man's hands and dumped it all over myself. Then I charged straight inside. I made it to the first floor entrance door. I grabbed the door handle and yanked it, but it wouldn't open. So I ran over to the window to peer inside. I couldn't hear a single sound, and I couldn't see anyone. Huge flames were roaring ferociously around the first floor staircase, with thick smoke rolling everywhere. What do I do? What do I do? My whole body was trembling uncontrollably. I clawed a brick out of the flower bed in the yard, aimed it right at the glass door, and smashed it. 1 strike. 2 strikes. On the 3rd hit, the glass shattered. I reached my arm inside, unlocked it, yanked the door open, and rushed right in. "Shen Jiayi," I gasped. No one was on the first floor. I headed down to the basement. The mahogany staircase leading from the basement to the first floor was already ablaze. Flames were shooting up from the sofa and the mahogany coffee table down in the basement living room. Why the hell did my ex-father-in-law use so much premium wood for the renovation? But I didn't have time to care about that now. I dashed down the stairs frantically. "Shen Jiayi, Shen Jiayi, where are you?" The basement had zero ventilation to begin with, and now it was completely choked with thick smoke. I quickly thought it over. Let's try the home theater room. Maybe she's in there. The feeling of suffocation was getting stronger and stronger. I shoved against the double doors of the karaoke room with all my might. It wouldn't budge. "She's freaking in here." I gathered every ounce of my strength and kicked straight into those heavy mahogany doors. The doors burst open. There was relatively less smoke inside. I saw Shen Jiayi covering her nose, lying completely motionless under the bar counter. On the sofa against the wall, there were 2 other men and a woman, covering their noses in a semi-conscious state. One of the guys was Wang Yu. I needed to make sure Shen Jiayi was okay, so I rushed over and scooped her up into my arms. Seeing the fresh tear stains on her face, I held her tight and bolted for the exit. I dodged the flames dancing on the handrails, terrified that she might get burned. I finally carried her up to the first floor. I dashed out the front door and laid her down on the edge of the flower bed. I grabbed some water from a neighbor and poured it over my pants to put out the sparks. Then I splashed some clean water onto Shen Jiayi's face. She slowly started to come around. I patted her cheek gently, calling out her name. Seeing her eyelids flutter, I patted her face just a little bit harder. Shen Jiayi slowly opened her eyes, and her pupils gradually came into focus. "Shen Jiayi, who am I?" "Lin Yu." 2 streams of tears instantly rolled down her cheeks. I let out a heavy, panting laugh. "Good. As long as you're awake, it's good." But then my expression turned ice cold, and I scolded her sharply. "I told you to take care of yourself. Look at what you've done. Is playing fairy tales really that fun?" Hearing this, Shen Jiayi started choking back sobs. "Stop your damn crying, you stupid woman," I yelled, dumping more water over myself. Then I turned back into the fire to save the others, throwing that woman onto my back first. She was frail, and I was terrified she might die from the lack of oxygen. With tears still staining her face, Shen Jiayi just stared at my miserable, battered state. She couldn't help but ask in a trembling voice, "Lin Yu, how are you holding up? If you can't do it, don't force yourself." My face was completely covered in black soot, looking like pitch black charcoal as I bared my bright white teeth and shot a sharp glare at Shen Jiayi. "Do you have any idea that if I didn't rush in there, you wouldn't have had a single chance of making it out alive?" As my words faded, I splashed more water over myself and charged right back inside. Shen Jiayi had been too panicked earlier to even think about that. After I said that, she was instantly struck with a chilling terror, trembling uncontrollably. Now there was just the other guy left. That absolute bastard, Wang Yu. Over by the main doors on the first floor, thick, black smoke was billowing outwards. I felt my way down the stairs. By the time I finally reached the steps between the first floor and the basement, I had already crushed several wooden steps under my feet. I gritted my teeth and pushed forward. It was a human life, after all. The scorching heat burned against my shoulder. As I crawled up inch by inch, my entire body aching with an unbearable soreness. My lungs felt like they were being pierced by needles, and waves of dizziness kept washing over me. I felt like my chest was going to explode at any second. My stamina was severely overdrawn. I was practically hallucinating, at the very last step of the staircase leading from the basement to the first floor. With victory finally in sight, I pushed with all my might and charged outwards, crashing heavily onto the first floor ground right alongside the guy on my shoulder. That guy groaned a few times in pain, and I let out a couple of groans myself. It hurt so bad, and I was so damn exhausted. Gritting my teeth, I ignored the nasty scrapes on my arms, and struggled to hoist the man back onto my shoulders. We were just about to reach the light, but my foot snagged on something, and we both went tumbling hard to the ground again. The man on my shoulder flew forward first, and I tumbled right after him. Just as I was about to hit the floor, my head smashed right into his, and I completely blacked out. I don't know how much time passed. Lin Yu, how are you feeling? Please, let's go to the hospital. Shen Jiayi asked nervously. I didn't say a word back. The fire trucks had finally arrived. The firefighters, equipped with masks and hoses, charged in while spraying water. After the ambulances pulled up, the crews kept blasting the basement with high-pressure water. The firefighters were finally able to make their way down into the basement, and I slowly started coming back to my senses. I sat up groggily and looked over at Shen Jiayi not too far away. She was busy arguing with the very first woman I had rescued. I struggled to push myself up on my feet, and stretched my stiff body a bit. Seemed like there was no serious damage, so I walked over to the two of them. After listening from the sidelines for a brief moment, it all made sense. That woman had brought that absolute bastard, Wang Yu, here without even getting Shen Jiayi's permission, and then tried to play the peacemaker. I'm guessing her little mediation failed completely. So Wang Yu decided to set the place on fire. He either wanted to take everyone down with him, or he wanted to play the hero saving the beauty, trying to stage some pathetic prince rescuing the princess fairy tale. Lin Yu, you're awake. How are you feeling? We really need to get you to a hospital. Yeah, right, I scoffed, glancing down at Wang Yu on the ground. The medics had already finished giving him oxygen and emergency first aid. My face, still looking like pitch black charcoal, flashed a bright, toothy grin again. As I said to Shen Jiayi, you really gotta guard against fire, thieves, and backstabbing besties. Just look at your precious childhood sweetheart and your so-called bestie. What a total waste of space. Shut the hell up, you pathetic hick. Who gave you the right to judge me? Shen Jiayi's best friend snapped furiously. I thought to myself, I shouldn't have freaking saved you. Right at that moment, Shen Jiayi swung her hand, and planted a hard slap right across her best friend's face. A red handprint appeared instantly. She turned to look at me, Lin Yu. I just flashed a wide grin, shook my head, and sighed, Shen Jiayi, I wish you too happiness. Then, I turned around and calmly walked into the crowd. Blending into the sea of people, I glanced back one last time, and left with a smile on my face. As the plane took off and began to climb, the massive thrust pinned me right against my seat. It gave me a real rush. I wondered, would bungee jumping be even more thrilling? If there's a spot, I absolutely have to try it. Wouldn't that give me a bigger rush? I raised my wrist to check the time, and suddenly realized a problem. I totally forgot to give this watch back to Shen Jiayi. She gave it to me when we first got engaged. I've worn it for over 10 years, even though she kept buying me all kinds of fancy luxury watches later on. So, I made up my mind. As soon as I get off this plane, I'll find an express delivery spot and ship it straight back to her. If I'm moving on, I need a clean break. Since I've been resting up pretty well lately, I didn't feel sleepy at all during the flight. I just ate, drank, and snoozed the whole way. Right when my calves started swelling up like crazy. We finally touched down at Guilin Airport. Phew, I am finally free. Ignoring the pouty, resentful look from the girl the manager recommended, I grabbed my chosen local guide and headed to the front desk to settle the bill. Walking out of the hotel, my new local guide introduced herself as Milan. I just tagged along with Milan, letting her handle the whole itinerary. That night, we checked into a guest house. The outside had this really cool, traditional, ancient vibe, but walking inside, wow, it was actually super high class. It felt like a 4-star place. And the best part? It was insanely cheap. Thanks to Milan's discount coupons, it only cost $398. That's practically half price. I was totally thrilled with that. Our itinerary for day 3 was the 10-mile gallery. The guy punting our bamboo raft down the Yulong River had that classic Guilin look. Deep-set eyes, a bright set of perfectly white teeth, and a really pure, genuine smile. I figured it must have something to do with the environment. I mean, living in such a gorgeous place makes your smile completely natural. It's true what they say. The local land really does shape its people. Anyway, wrapping up the 3rd day, we finally hit up the Silver Cave. The locals have a saying, visit the Silver Cave, and you'll never be short on cash for the rest of your life. So, here's hoping we all strike it rich. Before I even knew it, a whole week had already flown by. My body was completely exhausted from the trip. It felt like my soul and mind had been completely purified. Man, I really love it here. I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. So, I went ahead and transferred $20,000 over to Milan. That covers about 20 days of her salary. Keep the change, just let me know if it's short. Milan was so thrilled, she planted a big, happy kiss right on my cheek. Right now, we were just chilling and eating lunch. I was totally stuffed, leaning back in my chair and lazily picking my teeth with a toothpick. Suddenly, I remembered that crazy rush from the plane. I immediately sat up and asked Milan, "Hey, do they have bungee jumping around here? I really want to go bungee jumping this afternoon." Milan slowly swallowed her food, grabbed a tissue, and wiped her mouth. "Yeah, there are actually 2 spots. One is way up in the high mountains. Which one do you want to do, Lin?" she asked. I replied, "Which one is closer?" I figured it needed to be a quick trip back. Because once I'm done with the bungee jumping, today's itinerary would be totally over, and we could head back to the hotel for some other kinds of fun. Milan said the one up on the mountain was a bit closer. "Alright, let's head there." I settled the bill, and we hopped in a car. Over an hour later, we arrived at the bungee park. After paying, they asked about our medical history. Once everything was cleared, I asked, "Xiao, am I, you brave enough to try?" "If you're up for it, it's my treat." Milan just shook her head. I've had enough thrills. Hearing that, I gave her a thumbs up. Milan stood off to the side watching, flashing me a smile from time to time. While the staff was securing a buckle, my sharp eyes noticed the carabiner on the safety lock looked a little bent. I asked them to swap it out. The staff guy just brushed it off. "Hey, tourist, don't worry about it. This thing gets used over 100 times a day. With your weight, it can handle you no problem." I was still a bit skeptical. "Alright, you're the boss." With the harness strapped on tight, I slowly edged toward the jumping platform, my heart starting to pound. Beating like a drum, getting faster and louder by the second. Man, what a rush. I yelled, "Reborn," shut my eyes tight, and took the leap. I could feel the wind roaring past my ears. Whoosh, my adrenaline was absolutely surging. I literally couldn't even breathe. Up above, Milan's heart was racing just watching me drop. In a flash, I hit the bottom, just as everyone was casually waiting for the bungee to bounce back. Snap, the carabiner gave way. I instantly knew. I was so effed. Just one thought flashed through my mind. Instant game over. Then, Milan just heard a sickening thud. I didn't even have time to let out a scream. "Lin," Milan shrieked in absolute horror, sobbing violently. She couldn't accept that a living, breathing person had just vanished right before her eyes. Especially after traveling together for so many days. "Xiao Yu, wake up. Xiao Yu, get your butt out of bed right now. You're about to start college, how are you still this lazy?" That booming voice absolutely blasted my ears. My body felt so heavy, like I was pinned down by sleep paralysis. I groggily glanced over at the side of the bed. It was my mom. I squeezed my eyes shut again and mumbled a reply. "Mom, just let me sleep a bit longer. Everything hurts. I can't even move." Zhang Fengying glared down at me. She marched up to the bed, patted her silly son on the head, and then stormed out in a huff. Meanwhile, chaotic flashes of memory were spinning through my head. The weirdest part? The design blueprints from my company were crystal clear. It was like they were photocopied straight into my brain. The 2-dimensional floor plans, the 3-dimensional assembly models, the manufacturing prints, and then, the scene froze right on the exact second that harness snapped. Those damn staff members, could they seriously not trust my gut feeling just this once? I definitely need to warn my friends and family about this. Never risk your life just for a cheap thrill. Even strapped into a harness, you're not totally safe. Especially jumping from that crazy height. Hold on a second, I frantically felt the back of my head. Completely unharmed, that makes zero sense. I struggled for a bit. Finally managed to sit up, and looked around the room. This is my old bedroom. And this giant Kobe poster. It was pitch black. Wait, where's my phone? Then I spotted a little pear-shaped pen on the nightstand. And a Nokia 6600. I remember. This was the reward Mom gave me right after the college entrance exams. When my acceptance letter arrived, I could practically hear my own heart pounding wildly against my ribs. I jumped out of bed, yelling, "Mom, Mom, why are you acting so dazed? What are you doing up so late? Are you hungry? Go wash up and eat." Looking at Zhang Fengying's youthful face, there wasn't a single strand of white hair. Her temples were completely dark. "Mom, am I dreaming? Pinch me, quickly. What kind of crazy pill did you take? Are you still half asleep?" Zhang Fengying looked at her goofy son with a confused expression. "Mom, hurry, slap me." Looking at me acting like I was sleepwalking, Zhang Fengying twisted my ear and gave me a firm smack. "Mom, let go. That hurts." I bared my teeth in pain. Zhang Fengying let go of her grip. She looked at her son with exasperation, as if he were a lunatic. I rubbed my ear. The pain slowly faded. "Mom, give your son a hug. Hurry, I just had a terrible nightmare." In an instant, 2 streams of tears rolled down my face like beads from a broken string. Despite her exasperated look, Zhang Fengying pulled her son's head into her embrace. I cooperatively bent down, making it easier for my mother to reach my neck. As she held me, Zhang Fengying sensed that something was really wrong with her son's emotions. So she gently patted my back a few times. Amidst my sorrow, I confirmed the fact that I had been reborn. My mother's embrace was just as warm as the time before my rebirth. Thinking about it, I started to feel incredibly happy. My parents were still young. This was such a wonderful blessing. I wiped away my tears. "Mom, what's for breakfast? Look for yourself. When are you ever going to grow up? You're so old now, yet you're still crying in your mother's arms." Zhang Fengying, mother of a future college boy, turned around to prepare the food. As she walked, I said, "Mom, even when you're 90 years old, you'll still be my mom. Hurry up and eat, enough with the nonsense." I began to wolf down my food. I ate 3 big bowls of hearty corn porridge in a row, finally relieving my sense of weakness. After I was full, I washed the bowls clean and walked out into the courtyard. I looked around the familiar yard, and then respectfully faced the sky, thanking the heavens for giving me a chance to start my life over. In my heart, I kept calling out for a system. Over half an hour passed. All my calling just left me with pure silence. Forget it, this is even better. I'm going to live a brilliant life as my true self. Without realizing it, night fell. Only a single sliver of light remained on the horizon. Smoke was rising from the chimneys of the neighbors' houses in the village. Lin Zhengguo had already returned from the seaside. Today, he pulled out several swimming crabs and redstone crabs from the fishing traps. "We're in for a real treat tonight," I thought. This goofy teenager really had an old soul. I was in a great mood, thinking about how the swimming crabs and red crabs should be cooked. I happily asked, "You don't do a damn thing all day. So how do you even have the nerve to ask?" I covered my head. "Ah, my big mouth. Tomorrow at noon, we have guests coming. Get up early and go to town to buy some groceries." "Who's coming to our house?" "Your Aunt Dong, Dong Wenhua. She came to our house when you were in middle school, and she bought you clothes and books. Do you remember?" "Yeah, I have a faint impression." I immediately felt sick to my stomach. I couldn't understand it. In my past life, my aunt never visited during the time right after my college entrance exams. Could my rebirth have triggered a butterfly effect? Didn't they always just call before? Why are they coming over in person? It's best if I hide. But hide where? What excuse can I make up? "Little fish, get your butt up. Go buy some groceries for your mother." Did you hear me? I flinched and bolted right up in bed. I stood by the windowsill, pushed the window open, and looked out over the village from the second floor. It was bursting with life, so green and lush. I yelled out, "It is so great to be alive." Zhang Fengying poked her head out from the front door downstairs. She tilted her head, glaring daggers at me. Get down here. Coming. Mom, what can I say? I had no choice. Boss Zhang holds all the purse strings. As for that hole, how could I bow and scrape and deny my own happiness thing? Don't even think about it. The pressure from both my bloodline and the budget has me totally trapped. I quickly wolfed down my breakfast and hopped on the motorcycle to head out. The bike my dad picked out was a Suzuki 100 series. It was an automatic, super simple to handle. Sometimes, even the Suzuki was a fun ride. Riding the motorcycle, I soaked in the warm summer breeze blowing against my face. It was warm and so pleasant. The wind carried the sweet scent of trees and flowers, letting me just float in all that vibrant life. I cherished this rare second chance more than anything. Learning to truly feel. Learning to truly experience everything. I got to the little market and pulled out the grocery list. Tofu, ribs, prawns, and sea snails. I couldn't help but marvel at the prices back then. I spent over $100, and I could barely carry it all. I put the bags down in the gap between my legs on the scooter, gripping them tight with my knees. Then, I rode back home, riding on my little motorcycle. Gonna take you to see the endless sunset. I hummed happily all the way to my front door. Mom, I'm back. Before I even crossed the threshold, my eyes quickly scanned the room. Thank goodness. It was just Dong Wenhua sitting there, wearing a gentle smile. But honestly, I couldn't see much real warmth in it. Dong Wenhua looked at this handsome young guy, me, sizing me up and down with her eyes. She said softly, "Little fish. You've grown up so much. Come here, let me get a good look at you. Let's have a little chat." Seeing this, Zhang Fengying couldn't even hide her beaming smile. I shot my mother a look, glaring at her with pure betrayal. Zhang Fengying completely ignored me. I heard you're heading to Fengcheng for college too. My daughter is studying at Fengcheng Normal University. She'll be a junior when the semester starts, Dong Wenhua said. Her voice was steady and unhurried, gentle as water. It sounded so reassuring, and right now, my middle-aged ex-mother-in-law looked truly elegant and wealthy, with such a graceful aura. Deep down, I really did respect my ex-mother-in-law. She used to treat me like I was her own son, but the moment I thought of Shen Jiayi, my mood instantly went pitch black. Yeah, my mom told me she's a straight-A student. Definitely someone to learn from. While steaming the swimming crabs, Zhang Fengying stretched her ears out, eavesdropping hard. Hearing that Dong Wenhua hadn't stopped talking since we sat down, a look of utter satisfaction washed over my mom's face. Her smile grew even warmer. It was exactly the look of a mother-in-law admiring her perfect son-in-law. I was so incredibly annoyed. She and Zhang Fengying were my number one enemies. And Shen Jiayi was the executioner. None of those three were up to any good. Just you wait, I'm going to deal with you all, one by one. I thought to myself, in my past life, it was you and Zhang Fengying. Your daughter's the one who ruined everything. Now I'm paying for it in this life. If it wasn't for that divorce, I never would have gone on that trip to clear my head. And if I hadn't gone on that trip, I never would have gone looking for cheap thrills. Bungee jumping? Yeah, right, there are two things I will absolutely never do in this life. Number 1, being your son-in-law. And number 2, bungee jumping. You sit tight for a second, I'm gonna go grab some clothes and take a shower. Wait. The two of them blurted out at the exact same time. What the hell? Why do these two look so suspicious? Dong Wenhua and Zhang Fengying exchanged a quick glance. Zhang Fengying finally spoke up. Jiayi is sleeping in your room right now. Hearing that, my blood instantly boiled. I barely managed to keep a straight face. Even after working as a section chief for over 10 years, I still couldn't handle a jump scare like this. Clearly annoyed, I muttered, "Fine. We'll deal with this later. Mom, I'm gonna go grab Dad." As soon as I stepped out the door, perfectly hidden from everyone's view, my expression instantly darkened. By the time Lin Zhengguo and I came back inside, Dong Wenhua was just heading upstairs to call Shen Jiayi down for dinner. Walking in on the first floor, you step right into the living room and kitchen. The dining table was set up in the living room. The living room was on the west side, and the kitchen was on the east. I was in the middle of helping bring out the food when I saw the two of them coming downstairs. Our eyes met. Even though I was still fuming on the inside, I took the high road and said hello first. "Hi there, I'm Lin Yu. You can just call me Little Yu." Shen Jiayi froze up for a second, looking totally caught off guard. My straightforwardness clearly surprised her. Oh, hello, since it's our first time meeting, I actually brought you a gift. Just give me a second. She only hesitated for a split second. In an instant, she was back to her usual cool and collected self, though she seemed way more talkative than before. She was definitely stringing more words together now. You could really feel that vibrant, youthful energy radiating off her. I watched as Shen Jiayi trotted off, her ponytail bouncing up and down with every step. She looked so effortlessly cool, yet charmingly cute at the same time. Compared to my past life, she felt a lot less aloof. Surviving the apocalypse had somehow made her feel much more grounded and human. She came back carrying 2 boxes and 4 shopping bags. Here, I got you 2 sets of workout clothes and 2 pairs of sneakers. They're the exact same size as Aunt Yang's. You should try them on later. Her delicate lips parted slightly as she spoke in a slow, steady rhythm. Her voice was so clear and crisp. It reminded me of that old poem about large and small pearls. Falling onto a jade plate, I reached out with both hands to take them. Thank you so much. I set the bags down in the corner of the living room, and we all gathered around the table to eat. Zhang Fengying kept using the serving chopsticks to pile food onto Shen Jiayi's plate. I just scrunched up my nose, giving my mom a slightly disgusted look as she fawned all over her. We just ate and chatted. They started reminiscing about what it was like when the older generation was young, looking back on the good old days. I chimed in every now and then. Most of the stories they told were about surviving through the 60s to the 80s. Honestly, just staying alive back in those days was a miracle in itself. During the summer, right after dinner, everyone in the village would go out for a stroll, while others would just stay in to watch TV. The village's little media center was always buzzing with people, but my family, along with Shen Jiayi and her mom, chose to just hang out in our own yard. I lit up a mosquito coil, and we all just casually chatted the night away, trading stories back and forth. Yingzi, little you is younger than Jiayi, right? Shen Jiayi's mom asked softly. Yeah, 3 years younger. Born in 82, Shen Jiayi had been playfully teasing all night, intentionally or not. The night was deep, so I couldn't really see. Hearing them say this, they were about to drop a bombshell. I quickly chimed in, Auntie Dong, is my sister your only child? Yes. After I went back to the city and married her dad back then, first, there was the family planning policy. And second, we were both busy with work. So, it's just Jiayi. Shen's mother looked at me, feeling satisfied inside. Jackpot, a single-child household, confirmed. Then how would you like to consider having an extra son? I'll take you as my godmother. From now on, you get an extra son. And I'm an only child too, so this way I get an older sister. So we won't have to be so lonely. No, absolutely not. Both mothers said in unison. I spoke up, and the room fell dead silent for a moment. Zhang Fengying looked at me and said, before you two were even born, we arranged a marriage for you. Auntie Dong Wenhua nodded firmly, while Shen Jiayi turned her head and looked away. Silence is golden, I said. No wonder you guys were so eager before. And with the Shen family being so well off, it hadn't even crossed my mind. Damn it, I looked at my old lady, then at old Dong. And then looked at Shen's mom again. Yep, it's the cold hard truth. Next, I decided to dance right on the edge of death. I said to Zhang Fengying, Mom, I already have someone I like. Zhang Fengying's eyes shot wide open. She pointed her finger right at me. Say that one more time. I already have someone I like. I mumbled softly, say it to me one more time. Zhang Fengying's voice turned absolutely freezing. She pulled her finger back and pressed both hands firmly onto her knees. Knowing my dear old mom, this was the ultimate warning sign right before a beatdown. So I instantly went submissive and said, nope, not at all. I was just joking, but then I suddenly stood up and said completely seriously, but my sister here probably has a boyfriend, right, sis? And both their families are probably a perfect match. Mom, please don't blindly play matchmaker. And Auntie Dong, my sister and her boyfriend. You guys know him really well too, right? Zhang Fengying glared furiously at me. She glanced at Dong Wenhua and Shen Jiayi, then snapped, get your ass to the shower. You're sleeping in the west room on the first floor tonight. Yes, ma'am. After answering, I scampered off with my tail between my legs. When you're outmatched, running away is the best strategy. I brainstormed an escape plan while I ran. Shen Jiayi kept a calm face. Looking out into the dead of night, Dong Wenhua and Zhang Fengying just looked at each other. They exchanged a knowing glance. Back then in the countryside, we used solar water bags for showering in the summer. Big, black water bags. You'd fill them up in the morning, let them bake in the sun all day, and when you ran the water late at night, it would still be nice and hot. Out of boredom, I got up to check out the shoes Shen Jiayi gave me. One pair of Adidas, one pair of Nikes. I slipped my socks on, and they fit perfectly. One Adidas outfit, one Nike outfit, some random brand jeans. Plus 2 t-shirts. Man, this is pure luxury for someone like me right now. She was still so beautiful back then, and so flawlessly cool. I'm not that overbearing yet, in this lifetime. I don't want a single thing from Shen Jiayi. So, facing my ex-wife from my past life, I feel completely at peace. The old inferiority and desperation, they're just gone. I'm a lot more laid back now. The weather is so muggy. Summer nights in the countryside are pretty stifling. We only have electric fans, or hand fans. But the peace and quiet out here, being so close to nature, that's something the city just can't replace. The next day, as the sun came up, golden rays pierced through the thin clouds, spilling toward the west. Village roosters were crowing the dawn, mixed with the occasional bark from our dog Wangsai. The slow pace of country life, it really puts your nerves at ease. I slept on the first floor that night, right by the kitchen. It wasn't even light out yet, but Mom was already up. The clatter of pots and pans drifted over. I lay there under the covers, just listening. And for a moment, I felt so incredibly lucky. There's a special kind of love. The sound of your mom making you breakfast. It was barely 5 o'clock. Shen Jiayi and her mother weren't up yet. I shuffled over to Mom. Mom, did you ask Auntie Dong to come over? What's the plan here? Zhang Fengying shot me an icy glare. She snapped at me. Raising a son is just pure karma. I'm finding you a wife, what's the problem? You still got an issue with it? I thought to myself, is it that I have an issue? She's the one who looks down on me. In my past life, if my father-in-law hadn't pushed for it, there's no way in hell I'd have married Shen Jiayi. Money talks, after all. But then again, the old man really had an eye for people. I genuinely think I'm a solid, family-oriented guy. Shen Jiayi being blind to that isn't my loss, alright? Well, I did lose 10 years. Guess we just ruined each other. I squatted down to stoke the stove fire. The flames felt extra scorching in the summer heat. I looked up at Mom cooking, trying to figure out how to talk her out of forcing this. You're gonna get your son killed, Mom. Mom, back in the day, did the rich landlord's daughters ever actually fall for the hired farmhands? I hit her with this deep, philosophical question. Zhang Fengying just gave me a look of pure disgust. She kept tossing the food in the wok, her silence practically screaming, "You don't know shit." In Mom's eyes, I was still just a clueless brat. Mom, guys who married into the wife's family back in your day, did they get beaten up by their in-laws? Did they even eat better than the dogs? I ignored the absolute murderous aura radiating from her. I kept spamming my verbal attacks. Zhang Fengying's hand froze on the spatula for a split second. Then she went back to stir-frying, completely ignoring her idiot son. I could hear the clatter of the metal spatula against the iron wok. The rhythm kept getting faster and faster. The noise got louder, too. I could tell that even though Mom wasn't saying a word, those words had definitely gotten under her skin. Otherwise, she wouldn't be cooking with so much rage. I fired off my third deep question. Mom, did those guys who married into the wife's family sleep on the dirt floor at night, or out in the cowshed? Zhang Fengying had been stewing over the first 2 questions. And now came the third. Damn this kid, talking like I'm shoving him into a fiery pit. Of course, right now she had no idea. She was, in fact, shoving her own son straight into the fire. But it still pissed her off. A son is a mother's own flesh and blood. If anyone dared to treat her boy like that, she'd fight them to the death. The more she thought about it, the madder she got. So, she just hauled off and kicked me right in the leg. She shoved her precious son right onto his butt. Geez, Mom, what are you doing? I asked playfully, putting on the most innocent expression I could muster. Zhang Fengying instantly caught a bad vibe. Act normal for your mother, will you? Okay, Mom, I replied, keeping my eyes down and acting completely submissive. Obedient as a little pet. I continued, that boyfriend of hers is completely real. She didn't even try to deny it. Plus, they practically grew up together. Do you get what I'm saying? So what exactly do you want? Zhang Fengying suddenly had this strange feeling that her darling boy was slipping right out of her control lately, handling everything way too smoothly. She felt like she was being played. I'll tell you, but you have to promise not to get mad. Her family is way too rich. And with her looks and education being so outstanding, why on earth would she fall for a guy like me? And even if she did, her son wouldn't be able to handle a girl like that. I really want to advise you to just drop this whole idea. I paused to catch my breath. In other words, with the Shen family's background, along with Shen Jiayi's own amazing qualities, all those sons from wealthy and powerful families and rich heirs are definitely flocking to her like crazy. Mom, society is split into different classes. Our family isn't super rich, but we're well fed and perfectly respectable. I just want to talk this over with you. So let's not try to force a match, okay? Song Ying scooped the food onto a plate and covered it with a larger bowl to keep it warm. Mom, say something, will you? Seeing that my mother was completely ignoring me, I asked her one more time. Go out and pick 2 tomatoes for me, she ordered. I gave a helpless little smirk. She must have actually listened to me, right? After handing the tomatoes to my mom, I went out to the yard to help my dad gather the fishing nets. There were a few torn spots that he needed to patch up. I pulled out a cigarette, handed one to my dad, and then lit one up for myself. As I took a deep drag, I looked over at my dad's face. Seeing that he didn't have nearly as many wrinkles as he did in my past life instantly lifted my spirits. Lin Zhengguo turned his head slightly, pulling his gaze back from the distance. He looked right at me and asked, so, you didn't fancy the girl? No, it's just that I'm totally out of her league. Family background, looks, education. I can't compete with any of that. If we actually got married, both of our families would just end up being dragged down and miserable. But the absolute most important thing is, she already has a childhood sweetheart. They practically grew up together since they were in diapers, and they're still going strong. Based on that alone, there's absolutely no way I'd ever agree to this. No guy in his right mind would agree to that. Am I right, Dad? Lin Zhengguo took a deep drag of his cigarette and exhaled slowly. My boy has really grown up. You're a grown man now. I completely agree with you. Now, tell me about your mom. Oh, you got it, Dad. Right then, Lin Zhengguo instantly regretted praising his bratty son. Such childish behavior. The father and son kept busy working together. I didn't cherish moments like this in my past life, but right now, I was taking it incredibly seriously. Because I was genuinely happy. Meanwhile, up in my room on the second floor, Shen Jiayi stood on the balcony, watching the father and son working in the neighbor's yard. A playful smile curled on her lips, and her bright, lively eyes sparkled with an unreadable gleam. Shen's mother appeared behind her out of nowhere. Jiayi, what are you staring at so intently? He's quite a nice young man, isn't he? Mom, what are you talking about? I'm hungry, can we eat now? Your Auntie Zhang had everything ready early this morning, just waiting for you. Let's go. On the dining table, breakfast was tomato and egg soup, beef steamed buns, and stir-fried dried radishes. There was also corn porridge and boiled eggs. Maybe it was because I woke up early, or maybe it was because of my rebirth. Or maybe some weird mutation needing more energy, but I felt like I was turning into a bottomless pit. After clearing the table, time seemed to just slip away. We were just chatting. When you have guests over, if they don't bring up leaving, the host can't exactly ask them to go. I sighed inwardly. Is this ever going to end? I decided to just tag along with my old man today. I needed to hide for a bit. Seeing Lin Zhengguo getting his gear ready to go out to sea, I followed right behind him. A moment later, Zhang Fengying yelled out, "Little fish, come back here." Okay, I answered quickly, but I was definitely not happy about it. What kind of crazy idea do they have now? I muttered, but my feet didn't slow down. I quickly went back to the living room to wait. Jiayi wants to go beachcombing. Take her with you, see if you guys can find any good stuff. Got it. I finally looked straight at Shen Jiayi. She was wearing a denim miniskirt, white t-shirt from some designer brand, and an expensive looking watch. None of this was suitable for the sea. Mom, find one of your sun hats, and dig out a clean set of my middle school summer uniform. I turned around and said to Shen Jiayi, Miss, you need to wear a hat, put on long sleeves, and take off that watch. You also need gloves, or you'll get tanned and scratched up. Did you bring sneakers? Shen Jiayi looked at my serious expression and replied, my sneakers are in the car. I'll follow your lead for everything else. Alright, I'll go find you some gloves. And then we can head out. Mom, bring a pair of your arm sleeves too. Dong Wenwu's eyes lit up. What a great catch, so considerate, with everything arranged so perfectly. She practically wanted to scream, "Hurry up and sweep my daughter off her feet. You're thinking too much, lady. Little fish is absolutely not going to touch your precious daughter. Whoever wants her can have her. I'm not even bragging. I don't even want to look at your precious daughter. Honestly, she's kind of annoying." Of course, nobody else knew what I was thinking in my head. Once Shen Jiayi was all geared up, the two of us set off. Lin Zhengguo had already left. I took Shen Jiayi and followed my old man's footsteps. I walked in front, with Shen Jiayi trailing one step behind me. From behind, she kept staring at my teenage self. Maybe because it was a seaside village. The ocean breeze was a bit strong, and Shen Jiayi's eyes looked a little red. Walking ahead, I didn't notice a thing. We just walked in total silence. I wasn't being overly enthusiastic, but I wasn't being too cold either. Shen Jiayi finally broke the silence. "Lin Yu, did you get accepted into Fengcheng University? What's your major?" "Yeah, Fengcheng University, majoring in mechatronics engineering." Shen Jiayi continued asking, "Have you ever been to Fengcheng? I can show you around when school starts." I casually replied, "I've already made plans to go with my classmates." "But thanks." Inwardly, I scoffed. "Never been? I literally lived there for 4 years. I won't take the initiative to get tangled up with Shen Jiayi, so I flat out refused her." Shen Jiayi didn't expect me to turn her down so firmly, but she wasn't annoyed. "Lin Yun, what's growing in that field over there?" she asked, pointing at the corn. "That's corn. The porridge we had this morning came from that." After that, as we walked, I pointed out and explained the crops we saw along the way. For a city girl like Shen Jiayi, it was absolutely fascinating. After walking for over 20 minutes, we could finally see the ocean in the distance. Facing the sea, the distant water shimmered in a deep, dark blue. The weather was beautiful today, with calm winds and gentle waves. The beach was bustling with life, though there weren't many tourists around. Most of the people were locals beachcombing for their daily meals. To the left of the entrance, the sandy beach stretched out southward. To the right were mudflats and rocky reefs. The best catches were usually found on the right side, where the small hill, about 10 meters above sea level, met the water. There were massive exposed rocks with a deep trench right down the middle. The winding trench could be used as a small path straight down to the beachcombing spot. But it was full of ridges and bumps, completely uneven and rough. It wasn't an easy walk at all. I took the lead. I climbed down first, then stopped to watch, to see if Shen Jiayi could handle it herself. I quickly realized I had underestimated her. Her movements were agile, and her footing was incredibly solid. So, I kept going, then stopped to check on her again. We repeated this until we safely reached the bottom. I led the way, taking Shen Jiayi to catch some clams and sea snails first. Before going to find my old man, I turned back to look at her. "How about we catch some seafood to add a dish for lunch?" I asked. As I spoke, I looked at the Shen Jiayi standing right in front of me. Compared to her in my past life, this youthful, radiant Shen Jiayi, who wouldn't fall for her? But honestly, I really didn't like her. Shen Jiayi eagerly replied, "Sure." It felt like a total setup. I shuddered and quickly said, "All right, let's get to work then." "I'll demonstrate first," I said, and the hands-on lesson began. We scored a catch pretty quickly. When someone is in a great mood, they literally glow from the inside out. That was exactly Shen Jiayi right now. Do it yourself, and you'll always have enough. This style was very Shen Jiayi. She never relied on anyone else. She only felt fulfilled when she earned things herself. Next, I took her to the advanced challenge, catching sea snails. Since we had to navigate through the rocky reefs, I was worried she might slip or scrape herself. But Shen Jiayi used her hands and feet together. Her amazing physical fitness made it a breeze. Right now, she was crouching down, gripping the edge of a rock with both hands, trying to slowly reach over with one leg to step onto another reef. I still couldn't help but sneak a few peeks. Even though she was wearing a school uniform, those long legs and perky butt in that bending posture were way too tempting. Ugh, what a dog. Once the scar heals, you forget the pain. I totally despised myself. I forced my eyes away. Lord have mercy. Hunting for sea snails. An hour slipped by. Thanks to our hard work, we managed to gather about 20 or so sea snails of all different sizes. Shen Jiayi was practically jumping for joy. I thought to myself, wow, the seafood here really is abundant. If this were my past life, how many could I have even found in just an hour? Is it really something to get this excited about? Meanwhile, Shen Jiayi was still battling away. She was in full-on maniac mode, looking incredibly focused and determined. 2 strands of her long hair fell to the sides of her face, and a couple drops of sweat hadn't quite gathered enough weight to fall. So they just clung to the tips of her hair as she worked so seriously. Glistening with sweat, her side profile was absolutely perfect. She really gave off that perfect girl next door vibe. Shen Jiayi reached up and adjusted her hat. She tucked those fallen strands of hair back with her index and middle fingers, her bright eyes looking right at me. A bright, happy smile lit up Shen Jiayi's face as she followed closely behind me. Completely ignoring the mud and the freezing water, the two of us headed over toward Lin Fu. My eyes darted around as I got ready to cast my first little spell. I was dropping my ultimate move right off the bat. I slowed my pace, waiting for Shen Jiayi to catch up and walk beside me. I turned to her and asked, "Hey, sis, is your boyfriend at the same school as you?" Shen Jiayi stopped dead in her tracks, her long, narrow eyes staring at me. She looked into my clear, completely curious eyes, and just silently shook her head. I immediately followed up with my second move. "You're so pretty, sis. The guys lining up to ask you out must stretch around the block." Shen Jiayi's face flushed slightly red. I couldn't tell if it was just the blazing sun, but she shot me a sideways glance. She just gave me a look. Honestly, silence is golden. As we kept walking, I turned to her again and said, "You know, sis. You're basically my big sister from now on. I mean, you could always use another little brother, right?" Seeing my totally sincere expression and hearing my heartfelt words, Shen Jiayi kept a cool face, thinking it over for a second. But after a few steps, a bright, beautiful smile crept onto her face. She stopped and said to me, "Sure thing, little brother." I was absolutely ecstatic inside. I had finally secured my first layer of insurance. A massive wave of relief washed over me. After that, Shen Jiayi and I started talking a lot more. All I had to do was steer clear of anyone and anything from my past life. We made our way over to where Lin Fu was heading into the water, and I started showing Shen Jiayi the ropes of sea foraging. I also taught her a few tricks on how to catch more seafood. About half an hour later, Lin Fu dragged his inner tube up onto the shore, and I quickly hurried over to grab the bag inside it. I took Shen Jiayi over to sort through the catch, explaining all the different types of fish and shrimp. To keep everything super fresh, we had to toss the seafood right into a bucket of seawater. That ring he was using was actually a car tire's inner tube. Usually, they use those massive inner tubes from truck tires. Once they're pumped full of air, they float amazingly well in the water. The hole in the middle is woven with rope to make a net. It is incredibly handy when you're catching things in the shallows. When it's loaded up with a catch, you can just drag it along with a single rope. Shen Jiayi absolutely loved eating seafood. She was a big fan of fish, shrimp, shellfish, you name it. So, seeing such a massive haul brought ashore, she was over the moon. She happily dove right in to help sort the catch. "Hey, what kind of fish is this? And how do you even cook it?" Shen Jiayi asked curiously. Around these parts, the locals call it the fathead fish, mainly because of its massive skull. Its body is super skinny, which makes it perfect for sun drying. You just gut it, wash it up nice and clean, rub it down with salt, and then leave it out to dry under the blazing sun. Once it's fully dried, you pan fry it in oil. It tastes absolutely amazing paired with a hot bowl of thick corn porridge. It really hits the spot. Hey, I just looked at her expression. You want some? I'll have my mom pack a little for you. Shen Jiayi nodded happily. By now, Lin Fu had gone back into the sea, walking on stilts. This time, he went down to pull up the crab pots. They were set pretty deep, so he had to use the stilts. Shen Jiayi gazed out at where Lin Fu was in the water, waiting patiently, hoping for some unique catches. Almost an hour later, Lin Fu returned. This time he brought back conches, redstone crabs, and swimming crabs, which the locals call flying crabs. I didn't let her lift a finger this time, afraid she'd get pinched. With her soft, delicate skin, that would be no laughing matter. The big claws on those redstone crabs are incredibly strong. If they pinched her hand, they'd definitely break the skin. I quickly sorted the catch and tossed it all into buckets. That pure satisfaction of beachcombing just welled up inside me. It's probably hardwired into our ancient Chinese DNA. Working hard for a harvest, and that harvest is food. That satisfaction wipes away the fear of going hungry tomorrow. It's an instinct for stockpiling that our ancestors learned long ago. So, this morning was a massive haul. Shen Jiayi was incredibly beautiful during this period. At this moment, I was just purely admiring the youthful beauty of a goddess. Right then, I felt like I had broken some kind of deadly curse. It was noon by now. Time for us beachcombers to head home and pack up the goods. Lin Fu hopped onto his three-wheeled motorcycle, loaded up the gear and the catch, and zoomed off. The two of us just strolled back toward the house. The tide was coming in, and the waves were getting a bit rougher. Along the way, we started chatting a lot more. I guess, after I set some clear boundaries between us, she let her guard down a little. Shen Jiayi, acting like a totally curious kid, laughed and chatted happily all the way back home. Once we got back, the whole showering and changing routine was pretty much the usual. And lunch, well, it was almost entirely seafood. While we were digesting and chatting after the meal, Shen's mom brought up that it was time to head back to the city. Zhang Fengying tried so hard to get them to stay longer, but Shen's mom politely declined. Even so, the Lin family made sure they didn't leave empty-handed. Salted fish, dried scallops, dried clams, frozen fish, fresh fish, and shrimp paste. The trunk was absolutely stuffed. Dong Wenhua pulled me over and looked at me closely. Her warm, affectionate gaze could just melt me. After a moment, she said, "When you head up to Bingcheng, make sure you give Auntie a call. Auntie will treat you to a nice meal. Here, take this, it's a little red envelope for your college exams." Before I could even say yes, she stuffed it right into my hand. I squeezed it, feeling how thick it was, and guessed the amount. I smiled brightly and replied, "Thank you so much." Thinking back to my past life and how good my parents-in-law were to me, I suddenly got a bit choked up. I looked at Dong Wenhua and said, "Are you sure you don't need a son? Look at me, I'm super hardworking. I've got a sweet mouth, a warm heart, and a huge sense of responsibility." Think about it, Dong Wenhua just rolled her eyes at me playfully, and said softly, "Get out of here. Just focus on your studies at school, and come visit our place when you have the time. We'll treat you to a proper feast then." She didn't say anything else to me, and went to say her goodbyes to Zhang Fengying. Shen's mom and Shen Jiayi started up the car, while Zhang Fengying kept waving and seeing them off. Following them all the way to the village entrance, watching the little car drive off into the distance. I stood behind my mom, just watching her. The reason she had kept in touch with Dong Wenhua for over 20 years, going from letters back in the day to phone calls now, was all thanks to the pure, genuine bonds forged in that era. Unlike the kids of the future, who'd have each other's phone numbers, but might not even text once in a dozen years. Back in the day, life moved slowly. A lifetime was just enough to love one person. Nowadays, everything moves so fast, sometimes even love feels like fast food. I've decided to hold out for a pure kind of love. If I can't find it, I simply won't settle. I want someone who truly cares for me, a woman willing to meet me halfway. The summer breeze felt so warm, blowing away all those heavy thoughts. With a clear mind, the world feels vast. Being happy is what really matters. The afternoon sun was blinding, especially unforgiving when you're driving straight south. Dong Wenhua was behind the wheel, forced to keep her sunglasses on. With the AC blasting inside the car, the air felt perfectly cool and comfortable. She turned her head slightly, stealing a quick glance at her daughter in the passenger seat. Then she fixed her eyes back on the road and asked, "Sweetie, did you have fun out in the country?" Shen Jiayi thought for a moment and replied, "Yeah, it was really nice. Everything felt so fresh, and I actually got to relax. If you get the chance, would you want to go back?" Her mother asked, "Yeah, I definitely would. Catching seafood on the beach was so much fun. By the way, what was that arranged childhood marriage you were talking about with Auntie Zhang last night?" "Oh, that, well, it's a long story," Wenhua sighed, slipping into her memories. She pulled the car over to the side of the road. Since her daughter was so curious, she decided to tell her exactly how it all happened. Back in the day, Wenhua was sent down to the countryside to live at the youth center. They barely had enough to eat, and the living conditions were awful. The Zhang family, who lived in the village, were one of the very few who never went hungry. That's because the Zhangs had a lot of boys. Zhang Fengying was the youngest daughter, with 4 older brothers looking out for her. Back then, a family with a lot of men had serious clout. Nobody dared to mess with them. Fengying was tough and spirited, and she was always looking out for her gentle friend, Wenhua. They quickly became best friends. Fengying would often help Wenhua earn her work points. During the winter, just a year before they were allowed to go back to the city, the two of them went up the mountain to gather firewood. Hoping to collect a bit extra, they wandered pretty deep into the woods. Suddenly, they ran into 4 spotted wolves. Wenhua was completely paralyzed with fear. She could do nothing but cry. But Feng Ying, with her fiery temper, took one look at her terrified friend and snatched up a 2-meter-long branch to stand off against the wolves. Thanks to her brothers, who were all hunters, she had learned a lot, so she didn't panic at all. When facing off with a wolf, you can never make the first move, she knew. You have to look it dead in the eye. Keep your stick ready to block it from getting close to you. You need absolute patience. You cannot strike and injure at first. You just have to wait them out. And whatever you do, do not run. If you run, they'll instantly attack from behind. A human can never outrun a wolf. Shielding Wenhua firmly behind her back, Feng Ying stood her ground, her eyes glaring wide, staring down every single wolf. Eventually, Wenhua managed to calm down too. Following Feng Ying's orders, she grabbed a long branch of her own to guard her friend's back. But wolves are incredibly cunning. Soon, the alpha wolf lost its patience. Woo! It howled, calling for backup. But luckily, Feng Ying's second and third brothers, who practically lived in those mountains during winter, were already creeping closer with their hunting rifles. Waiting for the perfect moment, they pulled the trigger without hesitation. Bang, bang, 2 loud shots rang out, and 2 wolves dropped dead. The other 2 instantly turned tail and fled. And ever since that day, Dong Wenhua loved clinging to Zhang Fengying. It was all because of that incredible sense of security she gave her. As she spoke, Dong Wenhua couldn't help but let out a series of long sighs. If it hadn't been for Zhang Fengying, she probably would have lost her life. When the time came to part ways, neither could bear to say goodbye. That's when they made that childhood marriage pact for their future kids. After returning to the city, Dong Wenhua took her college entrance exams. Even then, the two of them constantly wrote letters, keeping each other updated on their lives. Shen Jiayi was completely drawn into the story, staring blankly ahead in a daze. "Sweetheart, what do you think of Xiao Yuer? Do you like him?" Dong Wenhua playfully teased her daughter. "He's pretty great," Shen Jiayi replied softly. "He really knows how to take care of people, and he's so considerate," she added. Dong Wenhua looked at her daughter, absolutely beaming with pride. "No wonder you're my straight A student. You've got a great eye for people. So, between Wang Yu and Xiao Yuer, who do you like more?" She kept pressing her daughter for an answer, but Shen Jiayi just stayed silent. "Well, it wouldn't matter even if you did like him. Auntie Zhang made it pretty clear that our little marriage pact is off." "Haha, it's such a shame, really. I actually really liked Xiao Yuer." Dong Wenhua kept playfully teasing her, but Shen Jiayi remained completely quiet. She just looked up at her mother with those bright, clear eyes, waiting for her to go on. Seeing that eager look on her daughter's face, Dong Wenhua finally decided to drop the teasing. "You know," she began gently, "I've been watching Lin Yu. He has this confidence and maturity that goes way beyond his years. He didn't try to kiss up to us just because we have money. What he's really thinking about is probably the gap between our two families. He feels like the difference in our backgrounds is just too big. Plus, he probably thinks you're way out of his league. Your background, your looks, your brains. I mean, Xiao Yuer is a handsome boy himself. And he does well in school, too. But he still feels like he can't measure up to you. Honestly, if I put myself in his shoes, I completely agree with his decision. He's worried about making everyone miserable. Because at the end of the day, marriage isn't just about two people. Marriage is the union of two entire families. I have to say, he is the most remarkable young man I've ever met in his generation." After she finished speaking, she glanced over at her daughter. Shen Jiayi's hands were tightly clasped together. Her thumbs were nervously rubbing against each other. Dong Wenhua didn't say a word to interrupt her. She wanted to give her daughter the space to think for herself. About 10 minutes went by. Seeing Shen Jiayi finally snap out of it, Dong Wenhua spoke up. "Listen, if you end up choosing Wang Yu, neither your father nor I will ever accept him. He just lived way too wild and recklessly while he was overseas. I will absolutely not let my daughter marry a piece of trash like that. But, I only ask one thing of you. You need to figure out what love truly means first, and what a real marriage is. Why do you think I brought you along to meet him today? Because I firmly believe that a boy raised by my sister Yingzi has to be incredible. His character, his humanity, They are bound to be rock solid. Dong Wenhua paused for a brief moment, and seeing him today, I was completely blown away. Honestly, sweetie, if you're on board, I will do absolutely everything in my power to talk to Yingzi and bring you two together. I would even throw you guys a wedding right this minute. He's just so thoughtful, so organized. He knows exactly how to take care of people. Sure, he's smooth and tactful on the outside, but he has strong morals on the inside. He is the absolute perfect choice for a son-in-law. Ha ha ha, so, what do you say? Shen Jiayi's face, however, fell into a look of deep sadness. She looked away. Seeing this, Dong Wenhua mistakenly thought her daughter just couldn't let go of Wang Yu. Figuring it was just a lingering childhood crush, she sighed to herself and decided to drop the subject. She started the car, and they headed back. Shen Jiayi stayed completely silent the entire ride. The mother and daughter didn't say another word to each other, right up until the sky finally grew dark. They returned to Shangshan Residence, one of the older villas in Ice City. It had that classic Republic of China style, complete with strict security at the gates. Seeing it was the Shen family car, the guards waved them through. Once they got inside, they called Shen Fu over to help unload the bags. Shen Fu couldn't even wait, and immediately asked if they brought back any coarse cornmeal and dried salted fish. Hearing they brought back a ton, he kept cheering, "Awesome, awesome, awesome." Seeing her husband in such a good mood, Dong Wenhua happily chatted about everything they had seen and done over the past 2 days. She then headed into the kitchen with him to prep for dinner. Meanwhile, Shen Jiayi headed back to her own room, where she took a warm shower and changed into fresh clothes. Sitting at her vanity, she dried her hair while staring at her reflection in the mirror. Her mother's words echoed in her mind, her face shifting as she fell deep into thought. Her tightly knit, troubled brow slowly smoothed out, replaced by a look of absolute, clear-headed determination. Shen Fu helped Dong Wenhua out in the kitchen, casually asking what she thought of me. Dong Wenhua replied with a hint of frustration, "Let me tell you, he is truly fantastic. Absolutely top-tier son-in-law material. It's just, he didn't really seem interested in Jiayi. Well, not exactly uninterested. He just has absolutely no desire to marry up into a wealthy family. He actually had Sister Yingzi tell me to just call off the whole arrangement. And of course, Sister Yingzi listens to whatever Lin Yu says." Shen Fu said, falling deep into thought. Dong Wenhua then went on to describe my behavior and character. Shen Fu asked in surprise, "Is he really that incredible? I'll have to meet him if I ever get the chance." Dong Wenhua just sighed and told her husband, "Meeting him won't do you any good. I just have this feeling, it's like, you just instantly like the kid the moment you lay eyes on him. I really wanted him to be our son-in-law. Even though he's not our son, there's just this undeniable sense of closeness. It almost gave me the crazy illusion that he's been our son-in-law all along." Shen Fu paused, his face full of disbelief, and scoffed, "That's absolute nonsense. It must be the heat playing tricks on your mind." Dong Wenhua continued, "Fine, don't believe me, but I could feel it in the way he looked at me. Lin Yu even wanted me to be his godmother. If Sister Yingzi and I hadn't shot that idea down, we would have literally come back with an extra son today. I am done talking to you. The more I think about it, the more I realize that little brat was distancing himself from us on purpose. I kept thinking something felt completely off back then. Now it all makes sense. That kid had zero intention of getting involved with our family's status. He pulled a classic retreat to advance, move on us. What a sneaky little trick. He actually rejected us. Oh, now I'm officially furious." She angrily slammed the fish she was cleaning right onto the cutting board. "You finish cooking? I need a minute to calm down." Shen Fu just stood there looking completely bewildered, wondering what on earth any of this had to do with him. Dong Wenhua's chest heaved up and down, fuming over the fact that I had intentionally kept my distance from her family. She grumbled to herself, "That little punk. My daughter is an absolute catch. And you didn't even try to make a move. You're really trying to piss off your future mother-in-law." It was the height of summer, and the sweltering heat waves were rolling in. You could feel the fiery, scorching heat the moment the sun rose. The cicadas had already started their hard day's work, chirping away purely for the love of singing. They couldn't care less if anyone in this world actually understood their songs. As long as they were happy, that was all that mattered. It was yet another beautiful day. Now that the Shen mother and daughter had finally left, Lin Yu felt a massive wave of relief. He pushed open the balcony window, squinted his eyes slightly against the light, and took a deep, greedy breath of the fresh air. It was just so incredibly relaxing. Honestly, even the air itself smelled wonderfully sweet. Lin Yu shouted into the air, "I am as free as the wind." Just then, Zhang Fengying poked her head out from the first floor, glared at Lin Yu, and yelled, "Get down here." Lin Yu groggily replied, "Okay, Mom." After breakfast, Lin Yu helped his dad mend the fishing nets. High tide was at 10 o'clock this morning, so Lin Zhengguo didn't head out to sea too early. Lin Yu asked, "Dad, it's almost time to catch jellyfish again, isn't it? Are there a lot this year?" Lin Zhengguo kept busy with the work in his hands. "Hard to say for sure, but I've seen others catch a few here and there these past couple of days." Lin Yu remembered that last year's harvest was pretty good. His old man could haul in 300 to 500 catties a day. By the end of autumn, he could make over 20,000 bucks. There is a difference between regular jellyfish and sand jellyfish. Sand jellyfish are cheaper. Regular ones are more expensive. The sand ones are huge and heavy, while the regular ones are smaller and lighter. After catching the jellyfish, they have to be cleaned. The heads and the skins are separated, rinsed clean with fresh water, and then cured with alum. This draws the water out without adding any. Sometimes, buyers would just collect the fresh catch right there on the beach. He started scheming about how he could make a fortune for himself. After his dad finished mending the nets, he packed up his tools, tossed them into the back of the three-wheeled motorcycle, and headed home for a quick rest. Keeping a close eye on the clock until it was time to leave, Lin Yu got all geared up, and followed his dad out to sea. Man, the ride in the back of that three-wheeler was incredibly bumpy. Days passed by just like this, one after another. Lin Yu lived a peaceful and fulfilling life, especially since his whole family was still young and healthy. Lin Yu kept a close watch on the calendar, waiting for Saturday, July the 10th, to arrive. Because on the night of Sunday, July the 11th, Uncle Wang was going to hit the first prize jackpot. January the 10th brought bright and sunny weather. Lin Yu woke up bright and early. After breakfast, he started mapping out his plan. His strategy was to buy just one ticket, using the exact same numbers Uncle Wang had won with back then. Then, he would keep the 6 red numbers the same, and buy 200 bets for each of the remaining 15 blue numbers. If he hit 4 red numbers, he'd make a profit. Even 3 reds and 1 blue would only mean a small loss. Lin Yu was playing the odds. Even if the butterfly effect changed things, he figured the blue number was the most likely to change. As for Uncle Wang playing the exact same numbers, why did he only buy 1 winning ticket anyway? He chuckled. After getting time off from Boss Zhang, he set out at 9 o'clock, hopping onto his beloved little motorcycle. There was no traffic along the way, and he cruised straight to the lottery shop in town. It had just opened for the morning, but it was already packed. Lin Yu waited patiently in line, thinking to himself, "These are all fine folks contributing to the welfare of our great nation." Even though barely any of them would actually get lucky enough to win the jackpot, they were supporting a good cause and buying themselves a little bit of hope. Finally, it was Lin Yu's turn. He pulled out the red envelope his ex-mother-in-law had given him, and took out 6,000 bucks. He also dug 2 $1 coins out of his pocket to print the tickets. Once he finished double-checking them, and making sure everything was perfect, he pulled out his wallet and carefully tucked them inside. He slipped the wallet back into his backpack. The owner of the lottery shop looked completely dumbfounded, having never seen anyone buy lottery tickets quite like that. Of course, Lin Yu had no idea what the owner was thinking. He was already riding his beloved little motorcycle over to the local market to buy some beef. Lately, he'd been getting hungry way too fast, and he wasn't putting on any weight at all. He figured he needed to add some extra protein to his diet. "I once dreamed of traveling the world with my sword in hand, to see the bustling glory of the world, oh, the heart of my youth," humming a famous song from his past life as he rode his bike all the way back home. He dropped his stuff and ran straight back to his room. After carefully hiding his lottery tickets, Lin Yu noticed his mom snapping green beans. He pulled up a stool to help her out, casually asking as he worked, "Mom, why didn't you and Dad ever have a second kid back then? Honestly, I'd really love a little brother or sister." Zhang Fengying gave him an exasperated look. "We would have been fined back then. In those days, who could afford a fine? Besides, raising even one kid was hard enough. So how would we manage another one?" Lin Yu thought about it for a second. "Yeah, fair enough. But Mom, I'm heading off to college soon. I'll only be coming home once every 6 months. Won't you and Dad get completely bored? Zhang Fengying hadn't quite caught onto his nonsense yet, so she just gave him a suspicious side eye. Looking completely deadpan, Lin Yu said, "Mom, I really think you and Dad should consider having a second kid." Zhang Fengying glared fiercely at him. "Are you spouting nonsense again? Keep it up and I'll break your damn legs." Lin Yu shot her a, "Why are you being like this look?" "Mom, I am being totally serious right now. My grades are really good," he continued, "and my major is pretty solid, too. I won't have any trouble supporting the family. Finding a good job and settling down later will be an absolute breeze. I really think you should seriously consider my idea. I mean it, I can even take care of the kid in the future. Once they hit elementary school, they can come with me to the city. If you and Dad want to stay in the village, you can. Or if you prefer the city, you can just come live with me." Zhang Fengying stared at her son in utter confusion, taking in his completely serious expression. If she sensed even a hint of him messing around, she was fully prepared to beat him to a pulp. After a long pause, unable to find any flaws in her little brat's logic, she just snapped, "Get the hell out of here." Putting on an "I knew it" smirk, Lin Yu teased, Okay, whatever you say, mommy dearest." Lin Yu walked out into the courtyard, lit up a cigarette, and thought to himself as he took a drag, they really should have another kid. Who the hell knows when I might suddenly transmigrate again? Having a younger sibling would be perfect. I'd even get to beat them up for fun. As he smoked, he ran a hand backward through his hair. Realizing it was getting a bit too long, he went back inside to grab some cash. He headed straight for the local beauty center. Right around this time, it was high tide out at sea. Everyone was busy doing their own thing. Some were heading out on boats, while others were cooking. Yoonji's hair salon was completely empty. Flashing a smile, Lin Yu walked right in. Inside, he saw a woman with her long hair elegantly coiled up and fastened with a single hairpin. She was wearing a dark red bralette under a sheer, white batwing blouse. The top stopped just below her waistline, giving a peek at her narrow, white bikini panties. She had on slightly translucent, white wide leg pants over them, paired with creamy white, chunky heeled sandals. With her absolutely gorgeous face, she was basically a walking embodiment of pure femininity. With that kind of intoxicating aura, no wonder she had every single man in Dragon King Village wrapped around her finger, regardless of their age. I really shouldn't have come, Lin Yu thought to himself. My young body can't handle this kind of temptation. Steeling his resolve, he chanted inwardly, no demon or enchantress can disrupt this master's peace of mind. Hard as calm as clear water. The water is the mind. No breeze stirs, no ripples form. Sitting in quiet contemplation, letting out a breath to clear the soul. Lin Yu knew he had to break the ice first, so he walked right in and called out, "Hey there, keeping busy? I'm here for a haircut." Hearing his voice, Yu Yunji turned around and looked at him. She thought to herself, what a great body. So masculine, yet such a cute, tender young guy. A bright smile blossomed on her face as she purred, "Well, if it isn't little Yu. Come on in, sit right here. How do you want it cut?" After Lin Yu sat down, pondering for a moment, he looked at his auntie and said, "Auntie, give me a buzz cut." Yu Yunji nodded, "Sure thing." She then brought out a styling cape, draped it over him, and grabbed a little spray bottle. Spritzing water a few times, she started combing and cutting his hair. Back then, barbershops in the countryside didn't have the whole wash your hair first routine. Let alone having some cute girl or guy wash your hair while you lay back and relax. Lin Yu instantly unleashed his ultimate sweet-talking skills, deciding to score a perk for the whole village. He started pitching to Yu Yunji about setting up a lay-down shampoo sink, making customers eager for a haircut whether it was summer or winter. Think about it, washing your hair at home means you have to boil the water yourself. But coming here, you get a wash and a cut all in one go. You could even bump up the price a little, Lin Yu added. His auntie's eyes started to sparkle at his sweet talk. Lin Yu knew he had her hooked. Deciding to up the ante, he continued, "Auntie, just think about it, everyone from the surrounding villages will come flocking to you for a haircut. You'd make a killing." Yu Yunji was totally sold by Lin Yu's pitch. Looking eager to give it a shot, Lin Yu kept stacking the deck. He went on, "Plus, with your gorgeous figure and charm, Auntie, you'd absolutely captivate everyone around here, men and women, young and old. Exciting just thinking about it, right? You'd probably have to take on an apprentice by then. I bet you'd be swamped. And then, You could go learn how to do nails. You'd win over all the young girls and wives in the area all over again. You'd probably need another apprentice just for that. You'd be too busy counting cash. Yu Yunji's eyes were practically glowing as she looked at him. She asked, "Little fish, what exactly is a manicure?" Sensing a business opportunity, even her voice turned incredibly sweet and smooth. Lin Yu's shameless little hands grabbed his auntie's pale, slender fingers, kicking his sweet talking into overdrive. He patiently explained the magic of a good manicure, casually rubbing her soft little hand while he was at it. Then he moved on to marketing strategies. Yu Yunji listened happily, batting her eyelashes at him, terrified of missing a single word. During the grand opening, give a 50% discount. After a month, it goes back to the regular price. If old customers bring in someone new, give them both a 20% discount. Set up a VIP membership. If they top up 200 yuan, they get 2 free sessions. Top up 100 yuan, they get 1 free session. He finally let go of the hairdresser's hand so she could get back to cutting his hair. Amidst their chatting and snipping, Yu Yunji eventually picked up the hair dryer to blow away the loose hair. Once the haircut was done, Yu Yunji looked at Lin Yu with pure admiration. Little fish, no wonder they say educated folks have the best brains. If these ideas of yours actually work, your whole family gets free haircuts here from now on. Haha, Lin Yu chuckled and nodded, reaching into his pocket to pay. But Yu Yunji absolutely refused to take his money. Shooting him a few playful winks, she walked Lin Yu to the door. Lin Yu smiled the whole walk home, feeling absolutely on top of the world. So this is how you use your knowledge after being reborn. Early one morning, after waking up, he realized that life was full of beauty everywhere he looked. Mostly because he wasn't a miserable wage slave yet, Lin Yu had made up his mind to actually enjoy life this time around. For breakfast, Boss Zhang whipped up some hearty corn porridge. She pan-fried leftover beef buns from yesterday, along with some crispy, deep-fried silverfish. After finishing his breakfast, Lin Yu felt deeply grateful to Boss Zhang for the amazing meal. Acting all sweet and spoiled, he whined to his mom, "Mom." "Oh, Mom." Boss Zhang simply lifted her leg and landed a swift roundhouse kick right on his butt. Looking absolutely disgusted, she snapped, "You better talk to me normally, you little brat." "You hear me?" I just gave her a cheeky grin and said, "Okay, Mom." My old man was chuckling away right next to us. A typical Chinese dad, I still cheekily whined, "Mom, have you thought about what I told you yesterday?" Boss Zhang glared at me and asked, "Get lost, go out to sea with your dad later. You do absolutely nothing all day. All you know is how to eat." I mumbled sullenly, but inside, I felt so wronged, thinking, what I told you is serious business. There is literally nothing more serious than this. If I end up time traveling away again, at least you'll still have my little brother to keep you company. I couldn't help but let out a sigh. I thought about it for a second. Didn't know if that lottery ticket would actually win. If I get it, great. If I lose it, that's just my fate. So, I wasn't stressing out too much about it. If I did win, then my initial wealth building would speed up way faster. If I didn't win, I'd just have to bust my back to earn my first pot of gold. If I lose, I'll just have to go bust my hump doing manual labor, I chuckled softly. Then I went to help out my old man, doing my part to bring some cash into the house. I felt proud and honorable. And just like that, the busy day flew right by. We had a pretty good catch. As soon as we hit the local market, we sold out everything. We made a total of 150 yuan. I bought my old man a bottle of Neolonshan liquor, and we headed home. Back home, Mom was already bustling around the stove. The house was filled with the warm, comforting smell of a home-cooked meal. Coming home after a long, tiring day just made my whole body and soul feel so at peace. The TV was blasting the hit show, Little Soldier Zhangga. I was watching it with so much joy. Then, at exactly 9:10, I switched the channel to the China Education Network. I grabbed a pen and some paper, lit up a cigarette, and just waited quietly. If I said I wasn't nervous, well, that would be a total lie. Anyone who knew the winning numbers in advance, and actually went out and bought them, how could they not be thrilled? I mean, who would have ever thought that someone could actually travel back in time? And buy the winning numbers they already knew? How could I not be going crazy? But then again, who would have thought someone could time travel? And how could I guarantee that the lottery numbers wouldn't change, too? Was I nervous? Oh, I was an absolute wreck of excitement and anxiety. The draw started. The first red number, A match. The second red number. A match. Even though I tried to play it cool, my heart was practically pounding out of my chest. The fourth red number. A match. But the fifth red number didn't match. In that split second, a crushing wave of disappointment hit me. The draw kept going. Then, after the sixth red number popped out, I literally shot right up from my chair. Oh yeah, I whispered fiercely. Deep down, I knew. Now it all came down to whether I hit 1/3 prize ticket, or 200 third prize tickets. The draw went on. The blue number. Yes, the blue number actually changed just like I thought. It was supposed to be 07, but an 11 came out. Oh my god, I kept muttering under my breath. We got it, we really got it. Right at that moment, I just needed some peace and quiet. Like, I seriously needed to calm down. I took a drag of my cigarette, waited for my heart rate to drop, and started doing some rough math on the paper. Tallying up exactly how many third, fourth, fifth, and sixth tier prizes I won, and roughly how much cash that meant. Once I did the math, I just couldn't hold back the sheer joy. It was around 900,000 yuan. I sat there glowing, feeling like the absolute favorite child of the universe. It was like God was paying me back all the wages from my past life. The universe's NPC had just cracked the door open for me. Yep, just a tiny crack. Ha ha ha. This goofy kid ended up tossing and turning for half the night. Now that my first pot of gold has landed in my account, building up my initial wealth is just around the corner. Level up, boy. Like an old boy, I planted a seed, and it finally bears fruit. Today is a great day. Kept singing and dancing, until I was finally just too exhausted to stay awake. So I fell into a deep sleep. When I woke up the next day, I felt like the air itself smelled like money. Even though I didn't hit the jackpot, this cash is more than enough to get things rolling. You could definitely call it my first pot of gold. After breakfast, I asked Boss Zhong for some time off, saying I'd promised some friends I'd head to Fengcheng today, to check out the area early and stay for 3 to 5 days. After respectfully enduring Boss Yang's lectures, I grabbed my ID, my small backpack, and my baseball cap, and set off for Fengcheng. The route to get there was simple. First, take a bus from town to Bingcheng, and from there, catch a train or the Tiger Leap Express to Fengcheng. After nearly 5 hours on the road, I finally arrived at the prize center's registration desk at 1 o'clock. I claimed my winnings at the window and signed the paperwork to confirm. They told me it was tax-free, and handed me the check. I put on the novelty mask, snapped the winner's photo, and left. Heading straight to the designated bank counter, I deposited all the money right into my own account. I found a little noodle shop and ordered a bowl of egg-fried noodles. I paired it with an apple-flavored soda and chewed on 2 cloves of garlic, splashing a little aged vinegar over the noodles. Ah, the familiar combo. The familiar taste. Everything was just so perfect. Stepping out of the noodle shop, I hopped on a bus heading straight to Fengcheng University. I found a window seat, sat down, and gazed out at the passing streets. It looked exactly the same as my familiar second hometown from my past life. When I first awakened with these memories of my past life, I was always a little worried, terrified that it was all just a dream, but slowly, I was starting to feel grounded, and really excited. I wanted to buy an apartment near the university, preferably in that golden scenery complex by the West Gate. It was a brand new development back then. In my past life, when school first started, I went to buy some daily essentials, and I saw the sales office displaying huge banners, with a big stage set up right in front. I just remember the female host being absolutely gorgeous, so I stopped and stared for quite a while. That's why it left such a deep impression. Getting off the bus at the West Gate, I headed straight for the sales office. The saleslady greeted me with a warm smile. Started by looking at the display map, watching as she brought me a cup of coffee. I sipped my coffee and chatted with her for a bit. Her name was Yu Wei. She kept up a very professional smile, but looking at my young, baby-faced appearance, she probably figured there was zero chance of making a sale today. She was probably thinking, just ask your questions, let me answer them, and get out of here. Don't waste my time when I've got baby formula to pay for. I finished my coffee. Seeing as she was still patiently answering my questions, I really had to give her props for her professionalism. So, I asked to go see the apartments in person. Yu Wei happily obliged without missing a beat. She asked which units I was interested in, and went to grab the keys. I pointed at the floor plan. Let's check out these 2. One was 88 square meters, and the other was 140. After we toured both of the apartments, we headed back down to the sales office. I was ready to negotiate, so I asked Yu Wei to break down the prices for me first. Fully furnished apartments started at $3,000 a square meter. Back then, making $1,500 a month was considered a damn good job. I ended up choosing a 140 square meter unit. Fully furnished, but they didn't throw in any home appliances. During the launch, a $20,000 deposit counted as $50,000. I really like it quiet upstairs. So I chose the top floor, the 11th floor, which came with a free 50 square meter attic. The total price came out to $395,000. After haggling back and forth with Yu Wei, she asked her manager to knock off $100 per square meter, plus another $1,000 off the top, bringing the total to exactly $380,000. I paid for it all in cash. It's not like I couldn't afford it, anyway. Under the salesgirl's completely shocked gaze, I swiped my card and grabbed the keys. After paying the utility bills and WA fees, I walked right out of the sales office, leaving her staring after me with absolutely starry eyes. I finally got the very first house to call my own, in both my past life and this one. And fully paid off, too. The reason I wanted to buy a house? Well, there are 3 reasons. First, living in the dorms in my past life was pretty fun. But the smell was just way too intense. Honestly, if any of you guys ever lived in a college boys' dorm, and actually had clean and tidy roommates to live with, then you must have saved the galaxy in your past life. A boys' dorm is totally impossible to keep clean with just 1 or 2 neat freaks, okay? Those who know, get it. In my past life, I lived in a wedding home my ex-father-in-law set up. It was so luxurious, clean, and pristine. Plus, if you count my actual age, across both my lifetimes, I'm almost 54 now. I definitely prefer a bit more peace and quiet. Second, living alone gives me way more freedom. It won't mess with my grand money-making plans. Third, I'm catching the market at a great time. When it comes to real estate, the more the merrier. Even if I'm suddenly strapped for cash, I can always take out a mortgage loan on it. But beyond those 3 points, I actually have some much deeper considerations. I whispered to myself, man, I'm such a genius. What if the sky was already starting to get dark. I felt pretty exhausted. I should go find a hot pot joint to grab some meat, then hit up an inn to wash off. Get a really good night's sleep. I should probably take a nice hot bath. Maybe get a foot massage, too. But man, I just don't want to move anymore. I'm so tired. Being a man is exhausting. The second I hit the bed, I was out like a light. I slept through the night without a single dream. The soundproofing at this inn is honestly terrible. Even though I was dead tired last night and fell asleep right away. The moment the mall opened, I was in there wandering around, picking out what I needed. I paid for everything and set up the deliveries. By the time noon rolled around, I had bought absolutely everything I needed. It cost me just over $10,000. I'm not staying at the inn tonight, even though the new house still smells a bit like fresh paint. It completely makes up for it by being quiet and cozy. I figured I'd drop by the campus this afternoon to check things out. But then I changed my mind. School starts in just a month anyway. By then, if nothing goes wrong, I'll be reunited with all those absolute animals from my past life's dorm. Every single face, every crazy memory just came flooding back to my mind. There's Sun Liang, who wore his underwear for 2 weeks straight, then flipped it inside out for another 2. He was incredibly resolute inside. Then there was Qin Liang, an honest-looking guy on the outside, but an absolute beast working desperately to change his destiny. And Wang Han, the horny drunk who chased every skirt he saw. As for appearances, Li Peng acted all flashy and generous on the outside, but was secretly a massive cheapskate. The last one left was the guy the first missed the most. That sneaky bastard, Jay too. We were absolutely inseparable in my past life. My lips curled up in a smirk. I made the classic mistake that every reincarnated person makes. Wanting to show off and carry everyone to the top again. I totally despised myself. After that, I gave my room a massive, revolutionary deep clean. I scrubbed every single nook and cranny. Since it was the middle of summer, I was sweating buckets. Once I completely exhausted myself to the point of collapsing. I was so starving I couldn't take it anymore, so I changed my clothes and went out to hunt for food. After stuffing my face and getting a good drink, I checked the time. It was going to be a long night, and I was wide awake. What should I do? Take a bath? With that happy thought, I headed over to the bathhouse. How does that saying go again? When it comes to bathhouses nationwide, look at the Northeast. There aren't many people taking a bath at this hour, and most of them are pretty decent folks. But there are always exceptions. After a quick shower and a soak, it was time for a scrub down. I yelled out, "Add salt, add milk, add vinegar." Actually, I didn't add anything. I just slipped into a bathrobe. I went up to the second floor and ordered a full Thai massage. A moment later, this absolute Amazon of a woman walked in. I took one look at her and yelled, "Get me someone else." The Amazon stormed out, slamming the door pretty hard on her way. Are you kidding me? I'm not here to get tortured. A little while later, another girl came in. Now she looked pretty nice, and the massage was actually super relaxing. I was just about to doze off, when she finally asked, "Would you like to add more time, sir?" I shook my head, thinking to myself, I'm just here for a proper massage. Not giving up, she asked, "Sir, would you like a special oil rub?" I shook my head and said, "I'm just here for a normal massage." "Please keep it professional, miss." She just rolled her eyes and walked away. I thought to myself, is it really this hard to be a decent guy? Whatever, I'm going home to sleep. Bright and early the next morning, I set off back to Bincheng. From Bincheng, I headed back to my hometown, and then grabbed a motorcycle taxi. The second I reached the front door of our house, I yelled out, "Mom! I'm home, hee hee." Boss Zhang stepped out of the room. Seeing her precious son, she smiled warmly and said, "Little fish. Did you go check out the school? Is it big? Is the campus nice?" I knew my mom was just worried about my future. Study environment. A warm, fuzzy feeling flowed right through my heart. I looked at her with a gentle smile and said, "Yeah. The campus is huge. It covers nearly 4,000 acres. The grounds are super clean. And really tidy." Seeing that her son was pretty happy with the school, Zhang Fengying instantly let out a sigh of relief. She said, "Son, haven't you had lunch yet? Let mom whip up something for you to eat." I happily said yes, and then headed back to my own room. I threw on a tank top, some loose shorts, and flip-flops. After scarfing down my food, I went straight to help my old man. We got everything done that needed doing. I was so proud to be bringing in some cash for the family. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, as father and son finished selling our stuff and headed home. We made $100 today. Change clothes, take a shower, eat and sleep. Wake up, eat and head out to sea. Every single day was on repeat like this. But my biggest payoff was that my health kept getting better, and my appetite was going through the roof. I was totally ripped with muscle now. But my skin definitely got a lot tanner, too. A whole week went by just like that. I gave Fatty a call. When he picked up, I told him to come get me. I promised to buy him dinner, and he came running over in no time. We hopped on the motorcycle and headed into town. I had Fatty wait for me outside the cosmetics shop. I went in to buy some face cream for my mom, and some sunscreen for myself. I was worried that getting too tanned would ruin my chances with the cute girls at college. After that, we hit up a barbecue stand and got down to the serious business of eating skewers. While we were chatting, I broke down the future of the computer science industry for him. I told him he absolutely had to master programming, since it's going to make serious money for a long time. And that it would definitely help him score the campus beauty. Fatty just gave me this look of total disbelief. I just rolled my eyes at him. I figured I'd just plant the seed in his head for now. We could talk about the rest later. Once we finished eating, we headed back home. I gave the skincare stuff I bought to my dear mom, and she happily accepted it. She told me to stop wasting my money. I thought to myself, yep, the classic mom line. The days went by in a routine. Every day, I'd look at the smiles on my parents' faces. And secretly promise myself that I had to work hard. I needed to build up my initial capital as soon as possible, achieve financial freedom. So I could spend a lot more time with my mom and dad. During that time, I took a day off to drive my mom on the motorcycle to my grandma's house. We visited grandma, and then dropped by my uncle's places to catch up. No matter what, you've got to keep in touch with your relatives. If you don't stay in touch, they become worse than strangers. We stayed over at grandma's for the night. Bright and early the next morning, I took my mom back home. I went back to my life as a fisherman. The last few days, we started heading out to sea. I had to keep up with my dad's schedule. Heading out at midnight was completely normal for us. When we got back, we had to sort the catch, then take a quick shower, grab a bite, and crash. Because we'd have to go right back out the next midnight. The reason was simple, we had to follow the tides. A major low tide is usually the best time to catch the most seafood. How much you catch out there is a total gamble. You're really just at the mercy of Mother Nature. Some years the catch is huge, and other years it's totally dry. It all depends on whether the heavens decide to feed you. And when the catch is actually good, it still comes down to your gear. If you have a proper fishing boat, with a big trawler net, you can make serious bank. But if there's no fish, the best gear in the world won't save you. My family used to own a little wooden boat, but since my dad went off to work as a construction contractor, nobody was around to maintain it, so we sold it ages ago. Time flew by. Before I knew it, it was already August 20th. Lately, my mom could feel that my college departure was getting closer and closer. She started treating her precious son so much better. Even her tone of voice became a whole lot softer without her realizing it. Oh my gosh, I felt like the luckiest guy in the world. She whipped up different delicious meals for me every single day. I made sure to never let slip in front of her that my own cooking skills were actually top tier from my past life. After all, I had been the cook of the house for years. She wanted to take me into the city to buy some new clothes, but I shook my head hard. Mom, clothes are way cheaper over in Fengcheng. I'll just buy some myself when I get there. Don't worry, Mom, I won't go wasting your money. Zhang Fengying thought about it and figured it was fine, so she didn't say anything else. August 25th. Breakfast at the Lin house today felt a little heavy. My folks were both looking pretty down. I tried to comfort them. Mom, Dad, I'll be back for the National Day holiday anyway. Cheer up a bit, yeah? My dad originally planned to escort me to school. In my past life, he was the one who took me there. But this time, I turned him down, saying I'd just buddy up with Fatty. My dad just drove me down to the town, where I met up with Fatty, who had gotten there early. The two of us hopped on the bus heading to Ice City. 1 hour later, we transferred to the Tiger Leap Express, and arrived at the Fengcheng bus station a little past 1 in the afternoon. Stepping out, Fatty was completely dumbfounded. It was his first time traveling this far from home. I dropped my best buddy off at his campus. The distance between our two schools took about an hour by bus. Once I got little Fatty all settled in, I headed back to my own place and threw the windows open to air it out. I did a quick tidy up, took a shower, and finally felt my mind and body relax. I gave Fatty a call to see how he was doing. Turns out, another roommate had shown up at his dorm. He sounded a lot more upbeat, which put my mind at ease. I gave him a few quick tips and hung up the phone. Man, playing the role of a worried dad really isn't easy, I thought. Then, I mapped out my to-do list for tomorrow morning. Head to campus to register, claim a good bed, and pay my tuition and dorm fees. Afternoon, hit up the electronics mall for a new laptop, then drop by the local Unicom store to set up an internet connection. I boiled a pack of instant noodles just to fill my stomach, and crawled into bed nice and early. I was dead tired. A dreamless night in Fengcheng, the west gate of Fengcheng University. Backpack on my shoulders, baseball cap pulled low, and a pair of aviator shades. I was about to step into the campus I once loved so much. A flood of memories hit me. I stopped in my tracks and just gazed onto the school grounds. Freshman guys sporting a few awkward pimples, handsome pretty boy freshmen. Freshman girls rocking denim mini skirts and long pale legs. Freshman girls in sky blue bell bottoms. Why did I see them all as little kids? Couldn't they be my seniors? Well, yours truly, Mr. Lin, just saw them all as little kids. Hey, the moment these students set foot through those campus gates, did they ever stop to wonder what their future might actually look like? A golden ticket, a silver spoon, a stable government job, or just relying on good old-fashioned elbow grease? Hey, us workers have all the power. Yeah right, that's just the path most people end up stuck with. The 996, the 007 hustle, all that hair lost to all-nighters, the sheer amount of coffee running through your veins. Too scared to even ask for a sick day, let alone take an actual vacation. Grinding away for blood money like that, there's zero happiness in it. To borrow a famous internet quote, working a 9 to 5? Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Honestly, college is a massive turning point in life. You've gotta believe that getting an education can actually